Compton Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
If you've been watching the Tupac trial, I'm sure you all are familiar with Mob James. Mob James is one of the guys who's been on stand all week. Well, I ain't gonna say all week. He was on there one day and he was doing what he do as a content creator. This is not a trial to me. This seemed like this is everybody in that courtroom trying to get famous, because after this, I'm pretty sure every last one gonna be famous. Now, we all familiar with Damian Porter as well. He's another content creator who do reactions on YouTube. Well, he did a reaction on Mob James, and Mob James gave him a phone call. I wonder why Mob James ain't gave me a phone call. I did some content on him too. But anyway, I guess he think that Damian Porter is somebody that he could talk crazy to. So let's go over here and check this out and see what he said on his phone call to Damian Porter. Let's go.
Welcome to another episode, everyone. Mob James, he taps in, calls me Damian Porter. And he was not necessarily happy about some of the content that has been ran on his name as of late. Not necessarily my content, because the only thing I spoke on was what transpired there in the courtroom during the Tupac Shakur murder trial. Nevertheless, I told you all just a few days ago, a couple of days ago or so, that my OG homie, he knows Mob James. They grew up together or something like that. They're pretty close. And he asked me if I wanted to speak with him. I said, no, there's no reason for me to necessarily speak with him. I had not ran my videos on him yet about cover the trial. Just some other video I guess I had done. Nevertheless, he called me yesterday, the OG homie. And
the OG homie, your OG homie must be about 70 years old, Damian, because you about 50 yourself. Well, I'm the same age as you. I got just as much gray as you got, but your OG homie, man, he must be in a wheelchair or walking with a walker or a cane or something, man. What your OG say about Mob James, man? Let's get to it.
I missed the call. He called again a little while ago while I was doing my videos. Damn, man, I'm trying to do my work here. I answered the phone. He says, Mob James on the phone. He wants to talk to you. Mob James said, man, who's this Damian Porter guy, running this content, man? He had some things wrong. Okay, we connected. Mob James on the phone. And he says, Mob James wanted to clear up a couple things. First, he said that he had a lot to say about OG Baby Gangster from Santana Block, Compton Crib, whom I had done a video the other day, reacted to what Gangster had to say about Mob James and Mob James's testimony there at the Tupac murder trial. And so Mob James goes on to say that he had a whole lot to say about OG Baby Gangster. In fact, and none of the things that he had to say were favorable. Talked about some incidents that happened, or an incident that happened with Baby Gangster while Baby Gangster was there in prison, and a whole lot of other stuff that I'm not going to get into.
Man, all these dudes are senior citizens, man. They'd be all in the graveyard, and they don't think, this is the fourth quarter for sure. A lot of these dudes, shit, by the time when the next Olympics get here, they ass be out here. They should be worrying about taking their grandkids to Disneyland and buying popcorn and cotton candy and things like that. At that age, you shouldn't even be engaged in a lot of this negativity that we are seeing. I can't wait for these old men. Get out the way, man. A lot of you old dudes that's with the negative, get out the way. Go ahead and meet God, man. I think I got, where's it at, man? I think I got one of them angel sounds up in here. Yeah, go on and meet God, man. Go on and get out the way, man. A lot of you old dudes is in the way for real. Let's get back to this.
Not sure if Mob James will necessarily like the fact that I'm not going to speak on what he said about Baby Gangster, because his take is, I believe that, well, I spoke on him. I reacted to a video that Baby Gangster did on him, but as I explained to Mob James and as I explained to you all, my situation, the thing with my videos on Mob James is I kept it precisely on to what I can see with my own two eyes.
Yeah, Damian Porter dude covered the content down the middle. Now, We gonna go over here. Let me take y'all to Mob James. In case y'all don't know who Mob James is, y'all know him just from the guy that was on the stand the other day. Let's go deeper into who Mob James is. Let's get to it.
Walk this stage, nigga. I think that too, my nigga. Come on.
Welcome to Boys in the Hood TV. Today we're gonna be discussing the life of OG Mob James from the Mob Pyrus. Now James will be born in 1965 in South Central, and in 1973 his family would relocate to the city of Compton. Now as a kid, he along with his two other brothers, Timothy and Alton, will all have a close relationship growing up. Now in 1976, James and his brothers would all attend Foster Elementary. Now as a kid, James was always getting into fights on a daily basis, and by third grade, he would get expelled at Foster after punching his school teacher after she tried to take him to the office. Not only was he having trouble in school, but outside of school, he was getting bullied and picked on. So one day, James would head back home, grab a couple kitchen knives, and come back up to the school and wait at the playground for the kids to get out of school.
Wow. I apologize, Mob. I apologize to Mob James. He was doing this in the third grade. Man, hey, let me tell y'all something, man. This dude that went home and got one of my butcher knives. He said, I'm about to wait at the school and I'm going to fillet y'all ass. I'm going to cut you from your butt all the way to your gut. That's what he was about to do. Man, I apologize, sir. I don't want no smoke. I'm letting you know that right now. I'm just on here talking. I'm just doing reactions, man. I'm just a reaction guy. Let's get back to Mob James, y'all.
Once he saw his bullies, he would then start chasing them around the neighborhood with knives. But the trouble didn't only stop at school with the bullies. He also dealt with trouble at home with an abusive father who would whoop him, not only for getting in trouble for school, but sometimes even when he had done nothing wrong. One of his beatings were so bad that he had to be taken to the hospital and having the top of his head stapled. Now by the age of 12, James along with his brothers would start hanging out on the block around the older guys at Ludus Park. Now one kid in the neighborhood he would see every blue moon.
Well, they had some cool outfits back in the days. It looked like they all belonged in the band Prince was in. Them all look like members from Delphonics or the Whispers, Isley Brothers.
Was Marion Knight, also known as Suge. Now Suge was hardly around in the neighborhood simply because his mother would not let Suge hang out.
Oh my God, look at Suge. Boy, you better be lucky you got you some money. Boy, you look like Planet of the Apes for real.
On the block. Now throughout the neighborhood at this time, James was known as Lil Mac. He was also known for riding the block, carrying a baseball bat, which was broken in half. Now because of his wild behavior, he would be bounced from school to school due to constant fighting. Now at the time, the East Side Mob was beefing with most Compton Crips, but one of their main rivals was the Santana Block, who were extremely active in the city.
All right, now y'all see. Now y'all putting two and two together. These guys is rivals. So of course it's quite natural for them to talk about each other. You know, luckily they didn't catch each other in the streets and unalive each other. They still here. Old men still telling gang tales. You know. I thought when you get their age, what them dudes is like 70 years old. I thought when you get that age, you'd be taking vacations, playing golf. Are we the only race of people that's still acting tough in our 70s? Knowing that somebody fire on you, you can't do nothing but pull your weapon out. Because you're too old, your bones and shit. Arthritis gonna kick you and you out there. Can y'all imagine some 70-year-old guys out there fighting? Huh? Can y'all imagine that? That would be a sight to see. I would love to see that. I would pay top dollar to put two 70-year-old men who got a problem on this internet in the ring and see that they would not go half a goddamn round. It'd be like one of them Mike Tyson fights. Soon as the fight over, it'd be over, but it won't be over from a knockout. They has to be out of breath on the ground, both of them. Fight over. Nobody won.
Now around 1980, James and a couple homies while on the block will be approached by Crips from Palmanoke. Now as James and his homies were about to square up to fight them, one of the Crips would pull out a 38.
Boy, the Crips was broke back then. At least the Pyrus looked like they belonged in the gang with Prince. They looked like they was about to go wash some cars with they bandanas. They looked at, you see them, you gotta lock your car like the white people do niggas when they roll by their car.
And open fire. And James will be shot in his chest. Now, he would luckily survive his injury, but after being shot, the dynamics would change, and James would no longer carry that bat. He would now get a hold of a gun. Now, from this point on, James would turn his gangster all the way up, and he would officially get put on to the mob. And one of his homies named Michael Rose will give him the nickname Mob James. Now, just like elementary school and junior high, James would have trouble staying at one high school due to his behavior, and this would lead to him trying to enroll into Dominguez High. But the day of enrollment, as his father is inside the office signing the paperwork, James will be outside fighting the Crips, and immediately his enrollment will be terminated. So the next school he will be sent to will be Centennial High School. But at this point, James no longer had any interest in going to school. So what James decided to do was to grab his jacket that he got shot in the chest with, and he would cover that bullet hole with the letter CK.
Oh, man. Look at this here, man. Look at this here. Man, if the Crips wasn't beefing with each other back there, man, it would have been problems for anybody wearing this, man. That's what happened. The Crips started beefing with each other. But if they would have never did that, that would have been a problem. But look at this here, man. You had to have been a down power rule to walk around with CK on you back then. If this is Mob James' jacket, he was not the guy to play with. You know, my father, they power rules. You know, my family, most of my family, power rules. So they got some solid guys over there. I know for a fact. I know a whole lot of them. I know a lot of them from all over. And trust me, if you had this on back then, you was definitely one of them guys not to be, you wouldn't be playing around with them type of guys.
He would paint Pyru on the back. So every day he would go to Centennial.
Come on, man. Get to the next clip, man. You showing this too long. Come on, man. Get on past this, man.
High and Dominguez High, simply looking for trouble, trying to start fights. But eventually, James would drop out of high school completely and start gangbanging full time. Now, this reckless behavior would have its consequences. And one night, he would return back home to find his little brother playing with his gun. So to teach his brother a lesson, James would grab the gun and point it at him, telling him, what if it had a bullet in it? And that's when the gun would accidentally go off, shooting his brother. Now
oh, man, this dude's a menace. I think I'm doing the wrong reaction. I need to go do something to one of these soft guys. I'm doing shit to the wrong guy. I hope he don't see me. How old is he? 70? I think I better hang around in the house until he be turned 80. He still got a little spunk. I seen him on the stand at Tupac. Seemed like he can still move around a little bit. I think I better wait for he to get about 90 years old. That'll be about what? Another 2 years?
Brother would survive, but his father would be pissed off and would try to put hands on him. And James would let his father know if his father did try to touch him, it would definitely be a problem. Now, at some point in time,
man, this dude crazy, man.
His father and his mother would separate, and his father would move out. Now, violence in Compton would get increasingly worse due to cocaine moving in and also the use of guns. And Mob James would find himself right in the middle of it. Around 1982, James would get news that one of his homies were being jumped by a group of Samoans up at the Compton swap meet. So James would head up to the swap meet to confront them. But little did he know that it was a 12-year-old kid hiding behind a car with a shotgun who would open fire on all of my Pyrus.
Oh yeah, they was getting cracking.
Sadly for James, he would be hit, but he would survive. Now, even after being shot on 2 different occasions, this would not stop James from gangbanging or running the streets. It simply made him that much more dangerous. Now, when he wasn't in Compton, James would visit his grandparents in South Central on 81st and Hooper, which was located in the Kitchen Crips hood. Now, James would develop a close relationship with OG Craig Monson, little brother, named Runt from the Kitchen Crips. Now, they were known for being super tight and having each other's back. If anything ever...
Look back there. Look how the dudes look back there, man. They had jewelry on. They had money. Now the dudes, they ain't got no, the pawn shop got their jewelry and their money is going in the dope man pocket. So it's totally different era back then, man.
Ever went down. Now, over the next few years, James would continue to be active in the streets. Now, one night, James would attend a party where there were rival Crips at, and one of the gang members who was in a wheelchair would try to press James and start banging on him. So James, being the gangster that he was, he would knock the dude out his wheelchair.
That's what you supposed to do. That's, man, come on, man. Mob James starting to sound like somebody I like. I wish a dude in the wheelchair would walk up to me. I'm going to flip his ass out of it, too, and kick him right. He better have his pistol up under his wheelchair seat. That you did the right thing, Mob James. You did the right thing. You pushed him out of his wheelchair. I want to see what happened next.
And things would only go up from there. As James and the mob members went out to the van, Crips from inside the party will come out blasting, and it will be an all-out shootout between the mobs and the Crips, and James in the midst of all the guns.
What if they didn't have guns back then? All the gangbangers had to fight. You already know who hood had the cowards in it. All these black gangs, all of them shooting each other. I want to hear the stories about the dudes that was out there squabbling.
Gunfire would be hit in the back with a 4.5. Yet again, James would survive this injury. Now with the rise in drugs, Mob James, like many of his homies, would start selling dope to make their money in the streets. Now in 1984, James and his brother would be kicking it on the block when they would notice a van constantly driving back and forth through the hood. So James started getting suspicious, so he would quickly head back to his house, grab his gun. Now once he pulled back up on the block, that same van would be seen, and it would suddenly stop at the dead end part of the street. And out of nowhere, the men inside would then open fire.
All right, man. That kind of give you an idea who Mob James is. And this the guy that y'all on the internet playing with, talking crazy about. Y'all better leave him alone, man. My voice just trembled just now. Leave him alone. This the same dude in his 3rd grade chasing little kids around the school with a butcher knife. It's the same dude in the 3rd grade that tried to fire on his teacher. And y'all out here playing with this nut. Y'all better leave him alone, man. He got the right to get on the stand and snitch. Y'all ain't gonna do nothing to him. That's why they ain't did nothing to him, because they know he's what type of cat he is. They know they can't play around with no dude like this. That's why he can get on the... I ain't gonna even say snitch, because what's the dude named Keefy D already told on himself. Mob James up there looking for a movie deal. He about to get paid off. Mob James, matter of fact, Mob James ain't did no telling. He ain't did nothing but repeat everything that the other dude said. You see, I'm taking up for Mob James like a motherfucker. He ain't finna come looking for me. Hell no, Mob James ain't snitch. It's Compton Rick Rock with Compton Rick Rock TV. Leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. I catch all of y'all on the next one at Mob James. If you see this reaction, man, don't come calling me, man. Don't come calling me. I wait for your ass turn 90 years old. That's when I'm gonna talk crazy to you. But I'm out of here, man. I'm gone.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Compton Rick Rock TV. Also, hit that notification bell and catch every video when I drop.